This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, this on the regular dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
We got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
Hi, this is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night.
Hey folks, welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. I'm James Boyd. Here we have Rich Latta. Rich, how you doing, man? What's going on? Tell us about the trip to Mexico. Tell us about the cruise. Tell us, because you got on the boat. You got on the boat, and I'm happy you got on that boat, because if you hadn't been on that boat, I would have heard some shit about how you went on that boat, and you would have heard shit about how you went on that boat, and some of our other friends would have heard some shit about how you went on that boat, and it would have been a story. So tell us about how you got on the boat.
All right. Well, I'm here tanned and moisturized, and
all right, hold on. I love how light skinned niggas do this. It's every summer, you know. They all of a sudden, it's like, oh, I'm a new person. The sun has hit me. The sun has hit me. You know, I now look like a different version of baked bread. All right, now go ahead, Rich.
But yeah, man. So
I've gone from looking like a butter cookie to now a caramel. Now go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, shout out to the state of Massachusetts for being so excellent as far as, like, you know, getting the job done. So I told the whole story last week about how I paid the shit twice and all that. And then I ended up talking to a lady that got the payment reversed and all that. And it ended up coming Tuesday afternoon, so I was straight. I had a stress-free day. I could easily just, you know, get ready for the boat in the morning. I got on the boat and all that. First time on a cruise ever. I had a lot of fun. I did a lot of basic kind of cruise activities, so the stories aren't like that exciting or anything like that, but it was just a nice environment to be around. I was immediately winning stuff as soon as I got on there. Like, there was a basketball shooting competition. I'm wearing the medal. I got first place in that. So that was pretty cool. I did learn something about myself. I was playing 3-on-3 out there, and man, I gotta say, that nigga Draymond Green got it made, bro. Because, like, I was looking at, like, what I had left in my game, kind of, right? And, you know, I really haven't been playing in a long time. So I got some hard screens. The passing is still there. I can make great passes, and they were liking them. And you know, it was just the offensively, I was kind of challenged, so I just stuck to the pass and set my teammates up. I already kind of figured it out. I didn't want to, you know, try to go crazy or anything, but I had fun doing that. And what else on the boat? I got up and worked out. You know, one of the mornings, I think it was Wednesday morning, or excuse me, it was Thursday morning, because I was like, all right, my normal schedule, my workouts would have been, like, my class would have been Mondays and Wednesdays. So I did not do a full class Wednesday. So I just stayed clean eating on Wednesday, had some drinks or whatever, woke up 7 a.m., worked it out. And then from there, I went crazy. Like, you know, I was hitting Windjammer, which is the big buffet, you know, just breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then going in there for ice cream. And, you know, I hit the pool. Mexico was cool. Like, walked off in Cozumel, and they brought us to the dock, and they have this, like, little makeshift I don't know, like outlet mall kind of.
Okay.
And like, and all the, you know, the everybody that owns the stores, they're sitting out there waiting for you, and they're like essentially pitching you as you walk by or whatever. It's crazy, and they're good. Like, as far as like, hey, come holla at me, and they speak English too. Like they coming out there like you think it's a game, like you like they not about to talk to you. They are about to speak to us in a way we understand. And I started buying wrestling masks immediately, essentially, and started like haggling with the dudes. So I want to show off my wrestling masks that I got. I was gonna like wear these joints on the show. I was just gonna appear and go live, and then y'all tuned in and see the mask on. But I ended up with a Blue Panther mask.
Okay.
I had to get one of them.
All right.
I got someone called Estrella. I just like the mask. I didn't know who it was at first. So it was purple on one side, blue on the other.
Okay.
And so that was cool. And then of course I saw this and I was like, what do you want? The El Santo. So I had to get the El Santo. At first they were trying to offer me, they were like, oh, we got Rey Mysterio, we got, you know, Sin Cara. I was like, nah, man, show me the real shit, dog. Like, I want some of the other shit. And then some lady was like, yeah, I got some. I forgot what I think it was. Yeah, she was like, yeah, I got the Blue Panther under there. I was like, okay, yeah, let me get that.
How much was the Ray going for?
Like 25.
Okay.
Or something. But I did get James something too. So I had to put it in the mail. Got a shirt for you on the way.
Okay.
I figured you fuck with this. So
all right, I appreciate it.
What else we got? So I walked around, went to the grocery store in Mexico.
Okay.
And I got some sangria that was in their wine drink section. They have liquor in the grocery store too, so it was crazy. Okay. And I took a taxi each way to the grocery store and back. A lot of the you know, the natives they're used to like the English tourists, so everyone spoke English, so it was actually like pretty cool. Shout out to my man Ruben at Senior Frogs. Awesome guy. And ate tacos there.
Senior Frogs sounds like a tourist trap.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, just making
absolutely.
Sure. Senior Frogs sounds like some shit that I find over here. Yeah.
So like when you get like where I got off at was like there's Margaritaville and then there's Senior Frogs. So
okay,
is you pick one of them essentially. Okay. But like it's like a huge party atmosphere.
Wait, Jimmy Buff at Margaritaville?
Yes.
God damn it. Okay.
Yes.
Now I'm thinking of Austin and Rock singing that bullshit.
Yeah. But like everything around there, I ended up buying a bunch of liquor. From, you know, this one dude, he was like kind of Americanized or whatever. So he was like giving me the samples, and I was like, my drinking tolerance was like on another level this week, and I don't even drink regularly or whatever.
Yeah.
So
you aren't necessarily you aren't as light of the weight as Josh is, but you are not exactly in the trenches.
Right. So like I don't drink regularly, but like all the drink, I don't think I got drunk once. Like, and I was drinking Henny straight at certain points on the boat. So like I don't know what it was. I just was throwing them back or whatever.
Shit might have been watered down.
It might have been.
Yeah.
They might have been, you know, like, and it had some of the specialty drinks, pina colada or different like shit they had for the boat. There was an 80s party. And I dressed kind of like a member of New Edition. Had the shiny kind of suit on, like the chopper suit, like with the extra buttons, the dope breasted joint. And Catherine had like her whole fit on. I think we had, you know.
Did she do like the frizzy hair?
Big. Yes. Yeah. I had to send you a picture. I had to send you a picture.
Okay.
But yeah, the boat was super fun. I partied every night. Like every night at the club there. The DJs, like, it was funny. There was a silent disco. So there was one night where we had headphones and then there were like two different DJs. So you could switch back and forth in your headphones and all that.
Well, hold on. On the dance floor, they got headphones on and they switching, but you don't know who's dancing to what.
Right. Well, you had the colors. So there's blue and then there's green. So you can see kind of, all right, what song is this? And then blue is whatever they're playing. And then green has whatever.
Right,
and then
okay.
everybody's trying to figure out, all right, who's dancing to what or whatever. And then you're hitting it back and forth. And it was pretty cool.
Okay. They gave you the headphones?
Nah.
You had to bring your own headphones?
No, they actually, they did give them the headphones, but we had to give them back.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. I get you.
Yeah. But yeah, I would definitely go on another cruise again. Loved it. I thought it was awesome. I did get some of that sea. I wouldn't say I was seasick, but that second day, like when they started speeding the boat up, I was just like, this feels weird, and I had to sit down.
Okay.
So aside from that, the second day, I was cool pretty much the whole time, and a lot of talent on the boat. So yeah. If you've never been on a cruise before, you'll probably have fun. So,
are you talking to me?
Just anybody.
Oh, okay. A lot of talent on the boat. I'm like, all right. I've been on a cruise before, but it was a family trip, so it wasn't exactly the most fun thing in the world to do.
Yeah.
But yeah. Even when I was 12. Even when I was 12, there was talent on the boat.
Yeah.
There was talent on the boat.
A lot of old talent.
Yeah.
Lots of old talent.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. And then, ended up coming home Sunday. I was there Wednesday to Sunday, and it was a really good time. And I will probably always remember it.
That's great.
And
man.
I was trying to think like what else happened, but it was a lot of normal cruise stuff. So like, I have no real wild stories or anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it was just really fun, and I was glad I got to do it. And I would have been able to go to a wrestling show there.
Oh yeah.
When we got off the boat, the first guy I talked to, like I saw him at a booth, and it was like Lucha Libre show, and I was like, hold on, what? He was like, yeah, if you'd have got here like 15 minutes earlier, they like you pay and they send like a bus or whatever over to like a wrestling event or whatever. So I'm talking to the guy, and he was like,
they would have sent you one of them backyard wrestling shows they be showing on the internet on YouTube and shit.
They would have sent me the what that shit, Aero Lucha or something.
I think that's what it is, Aero Lucha. Yeah.
So like, I started talking to the guy about who he watches. He was like, I like the old guys or whatever. He's like, I like Blue Demon and different stuff like that. So I was talking to a guy, I thought it was pretty cool. And I was like, you watch American wrestling? He was like, yeah, I do, and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. I kind of had to go though, I was, with a group. So
yeah. Also, that part was like, yeah, I know Catherine was like, thank God that fucking show already went on. Like, we left the country and we finna go to fucking wrestling. God damn it. She would have been like, she don't hate wrestling, but she'd be like, all right, enough. We moved. We went across time zones to get away from this.
So but besides that, it was pretty cool, and it's I'm definitely going on another cruise at some point. I don't know when, but maybe one of these Jericho cruises or something.
Oh God. When's the last time you did one of those?
That was one like every January at this point. It seems like.
Okay, I kind of lost track ever since the pandemic one. So
yeah,
at least as far as like, because I don't think about it because it's like it's not as tied into AEW as it used to be, where like they do a show on the boat. Right.
Yeah.
All right, man, Captain Rich Latta.
So I did put a quote out, or not a quote, a tweet out. Well, actually, before we, get going, we do have an announcement. So we're going to be live, Social Suplex, like kind of as a collective. There's going to be a bunch of different shows on there. We're going to have a big announcement, September 27th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be doing Ask Me Anything, as well as the Tonal Talk dating game and all that. And we got a big announcement. Make sure y'all come through.
The what?
The Tonal Talk dating game.
I haven't been on Discord today. I missed this.
Yeah.
I'm not. Am I involved in this?
I don't know how they're gonna do it, but it's supposed to be. You have to ask Leah or something. So
okay, I'll ask. So yeah. Poor Jane's been bamboozled. Yeah, I'm like, what? The what game? All right, I gotta go back and read so I don't get caught lacking out there.
Yeah. So not too many questions, but we got good ones though.
Okay.
So my man Black Saber Jr. he always comes through on these.
Yep.
Says, who do you think will get a second crack at the world title first? MJF, Swerve, or Hangman Page?
Page. I think that's quite apparent that like he'll be the first one to get his second title reign out of those three. I think Swerve might even get another one before MJF does. I think MJF has gone a long way around to get the belt back on him.
I just think MJF is so favorably thought of at the top where at some point it feels like they're going to try him again. It feels like for me it would be him, but if it's not him, I would probably lean Hangman.
Okay.
2, if promoted right and promised main event only talent, could a casino gauntlet match main event a pay-per-view?
I'd say no, because I feel like AEW, even though it's had some issues, pretty much gives you things you want to see at the top of a card more than just an all-star, toy chess match. Don't get me wrong, like they're all mostly blasts, all of them, but you still gotta try to draw a pay-per-view rating of building. And I think, even with the awesome wrestlers all put together for the All-Star Slam, like you still gotta have people want to see a match or matches.
So, like, do I think if you just one for one it with the Royal Rumble and you were like, all right, instead of like imagine it was a Royal Rumble show, instead of a Rumble going on last, could a casino gauntlet do it? I'm sure they could. I would think they would have to like obviously they wouldn't put 30 people in it. They would have to put like at least 20 people in it. And then
at least 20? You think 20? You don't think 20 is too many?
It is a lot of like standing around and hanging out for people. That's the only like drawback of this match.
How many do they normally do in the Gauntlet Battle Royal?
I want to say they do like
21, right?
13, something that like the casino.
I'm thinking the casino. That's one thing.
Yeah. The casino battle royal is 21. So like the gauntlet match,
21.
They could outdo any Royal Rumble. I know that, but I just don't know. I think the casino gauntlet would have to keep getting built up as like a great thing, and they have to like make it to where it's like, all right, this is like they're gonna have to basically turn it to like
they're gonna have to turn it to their version of Rumble where like match
the
programs
are all in.
Programs are interlaced in it to start it or finish
Revolution.
it or get through it to the next thing. Yeah. I mean, so I think you kind of have to like say, hey, like, because especially in a time like this when we were like, hey, why, they did the Owen and then they kind of shotgun through a lot of stuff to get to where they need to get to for All In, All Out. Like, if you had the Battle Royal involved in that, like the get everybody on the match card, right? I mean, they kind of sort of did that, but like higher stakes, right? Like if you had more stuff to throw out, like if you had like Kenny Omega available, that sort of thing, Adam Cole available, like you could have, pumped that up a little bit more. And yeah, you could have like something that's like, oh, that's an absolute staple that's on All In. And then you say like, because like that's to get everybody, that's to get a bunch of people on the card that matter. But like we're saving the big blow offs or whatever else for All Out because we're going, 2 weeks apart, that sort of thing. That'd be actually a pretty good gimmick. You as a utility anyway. But as far as main eventing, unless you call it Casino Battle Royal or you make it the main event of Double or Nothing in Vegas, I have a hard time seeing it.
Yeah, and it's like you're gonna need like surprises, which really aren't a problem. Like, just because all the partnerships they have, and there's always free agents that are out there, and but I think at the end of the day, it feels too young in its history to really do that. And I know like they dropped the Royal Rumble like as a USA Network special, and then like it was its own pay-per-view like the next year or something like that. But we're not in that world, and I don't know which way they want to go with it. Maybe a lot of this has to, also depend on like the television deal, and like say if they're like, yo, there are streaming exclusive shows, could you do something like that? Maybe. He says, Black Saber Jr. says, you guys have a pardon the interruption type vibe to your show. So with that being said, which one will be Michael Wilbon and which would be Tony Kornheiser?
I don't know. Who's the more grumpy of the two between us? Probably me.
You
right?
Clearly.
So I guess I mean you clearly. I'm not the one that goes on Twitter and blows it up every fucking week, but I'm the grumpy one. All right, sure. You know what? I own it. I'm the grump. I am the grump. But yeah, I'm quick. It's me. I'm just like, hey man, cut the shit. Let's just get to business. Let's just get straight to unpeel all the stuff, all the nonsense, get straight to the root issues. Yeah. So I would say, I guess that means I'm Wilbon, and that means you're Kornheiser.
I guess so. Like, so now it's like James is now a Bears fan. And I'm an old white man.
Want to switch?
Right?
I don't want to be a Bears fan. I hate them so much. Niggas is lame. Like 86 or is that 85? Like nigga, who cares?
Yeah.
Like you're not fun to like. You enjoyed watching those teams? Really?
Caleb Williams was the most exciting thing about the Bears for me in like generations. Like,
I mean, I wouldn't say generations. I mean, they had that 2014 team that was really good on offense. They had like Alshon Jeffrey and oh my god, Brandon Marshall, and like also the tight end Martellus Bennett and Cutler. That was a really good offense. But outside of that, like they have been a shit show on a shitty field that rips up knees and is bad to watch. And once it turns to the fall, nah, man, no thanks. Ineptitude at quarterback, like. I would like to see the side-by-side of Bears quarterbacks and Browns quarterbacks since the Browns came back to the league. I would like to see it. I really would. It might not be as bad as the Browns, but it's I mean, because obviously right now with Deshaun Watson thing, it's really bad. But as far as embarrassing, but like it's a lot of names on the back of that jersey that gets replaced like every 2 years, except for Cutler. And they wanted to run Cutler out of there. He's the best quarterback they've had since like Color TV, maybe.
Favorite Young Bucks super kick spot / moment. I've got two.
Ooh. Okay. The one where the exploding sneaker on Moxley's face.
That's all time.
That's one. And I believe it was the tag team cage match with the thumbtack shoe, right? So those would be the two for me.
I would say that exploding one for sure because it was just so shocking, no pun intended. And I'll say the one where Sammy Guevara jumped and like he had the glasses on and he jumped off the top. It was like in a tag team battle royal. It was like the first year of Dynamite.
Okay.
And
so it was shithead Sammy Guevara.
He springboarded off the rope, jumped high as fuck, and then just got impaled. And then like he folded all the way back on his knees. Like that's hilarious. That shit was incredible.
Okay.
Who's your favorite?
Wait. Wasn't there one wasn't there the match against Butcher and Blade where they super kick Blade down the fucking escalator?
Yes.
That's also all time.
Yes. His last question also says, the super kick to Sting at Forbidden Door. Yeah.
When he saw that shit?
Yeah.
You know what? That might be number one for me.
That was funny.
You knew it was going to happen. And when it happened, it still didn't matter. It was great.
Who's your favorite to win the MVP for the NBA this upcoming season? I gotta say, man, fuck the NBA, man. Fuck the men. You know, it's all about the W, man. You know? Can't really, you know, can't really get jiggy.
I'm
just gonna go Luka Doncic just because he's a stat machine, and if they can find a way to like somehow like stay towards the top of the standings, I think his stats will, you know, carry him. I think people are going to be tired of giving it to Jokic, especially. I think
that's why I'm trying to come up with another name for it. You know what? I think Embiid might get a second one.
Embiid?
I think Embiid might get a second one because I think they're going to be like the 2 seed in the East. And he's going to have crazy numbers. And, they'll be like, we got to give it to someone besides Jokic. We can't have Jokic out here winning, 4 and 5 years. He's not LeBron. They'll do that. When really he should have won 4 straight, probably. So, whatever.
Amazing.
The same when LeBron probably should have won 5 straight, but, whatever. LeBron got D-Rose back in that finals, or in that Eastern Conference finals. But whatever. Like, traditionally, that's another thing that's going to come to. It's like, eventually we got to break some of these precedents as far as, like, the way the stodgy old, like, sports writers were like, we can't let this precedent happen because, like, we're gatekeeping. And people got to let go of that shit, right? Like, that's why Embiid mostly won that one he won, right? Like, that's the reason why Karl Malone won the one he got in 97, right? When Jordan, you're like, the Bulls won 69 games and they didn't give it to Jordan. Like, are you stupid? Are you dumb?
Jackie McMullen, I blame you. J. Antonio Teodoro says, when do you think AEW will have their first women's pay-per-view main event match and who will be in it?
If it does happen, it will involve Mercedes Moné.
I think you got to say Mercedes and Willow. Like, and Willow's winning that shit.
Mercedes.
Like, I don't know both participants or whatever.
I know one of them.
But Willow is winning the match. Like, so
yeah. I mean, that's what the setup was when she came in. So yeah. Whether that's a year or whatever, like, she'll have to go through Stat. She'll have to go through Mercedes. Yeah.
Question from Brandon Van Candia. He says, if 1996 Kenta Kobashi was in AEW right now, where would you slot him, and where would he rank in ring to the rest of the roster?
I slot him in the. I mean, I slot him at the main event level.
Same.
And he asked me to power. He asked me to power rank Kobashi.
Right.
Power rank Kobashi.
I guess. Yeah.
I guess 1.
Yeah. Right.
1 or 2 or 3.
1, 2?
Like no lower than 4.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be like, Omega's better than him, Dangus is better than him, Ospreay better than him, Okada better than him. Sure, Swerve better. I mean, this is really like this is shit, because it's like, hey, if we put Kobashi in the ring with Ospreay, like, the camel feet may drop. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's so much greatness happening. I don't know what to do with that.
Dr. Lariat with an interesting point. Takeshita is the modern day Kobashi. I never thought about it like that, but I think he says he's got a big body. He's athletic. I think Kobashi was a lot more strike based than Takeshita is,
yes,
as far as like the chops. But
I think Takeshi's more athletic too. As far as just movement around the ring, like, obviously Kobashi did the crazy moonsault and everything, but like, also their body shapes are different. Like, Kobashi is built more like a stereotypical American pro wrestler, right?
That big ass chest,
yeah, big barrel chest. But Takeshita is built. I mean, he's built like a linebacker. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I think. There's definitely a point there. In the comparisons. I get it. I think, quite honestly, like, can you imagine how dangerous Kobashi would have been, like, wrestling, doing the shit he already did, and then like, yeah, we got to take it up a notch to match, like, the 2020 wrestling. He'd be more dangerous. Like, I haven't seen all the crazy shit Takeshi's done, but, like, Kobashi, he seems to be more crazy, dangerous spots that can, like, leave you paralyzed than Takeshita. So I can't, like, bro. Remember the beginning of this year, how they were speed running Darby and Takeshita for feud of the year.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a Darby Kobashi match?
So like what I enjoy about Kobashi is, like, he's arguably the greatest babyface wrestler there is.
He's up
when
there.
when you talk about someone firing up and then the crowd just living and dying with them, the passion,
right,
the offense, he's just unreal,
right?
Unreal. Like, and I felt fortunate.
And him hulking up made people lose their minds.
Yeah.
When he starts staring at you and like kind of makes that snarl, it's like, oh my God, you finna die. You finna die. You made a mistake. You should. I understand you. I understand you thought like with a regular mere mortal that you could hit them with a chair and they will fold. No, he's looking at you like you fucking out your mind. Like, are you crazy? Do you know who I am? I'm Kenta Kobashi. Like, I'm Kevin Durant. I'm Kenta Kobashi. You finna die now.
Yeah. Like, I think he would be so great against this roster. Oh, everybody. My God. It's just, wow. What a question. At Ace of New Japan says, thoughts on everything that has come up with Diddy in the past week. We kind of talked about Diddy last week.
Real quick, before we'll get that second. Like, think of how easy it was to plug in with Ishii, right? Ishii, in my opinion, is the greatest mid-card wrestler of all time. I don't know what your opinion on it is, but that's my opinion, right? Mm-hmm. Kenta Kobashi, there's levels between Kenta Kobashi and even Ishii. And Ishii is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Undisputably. What he would have done at a main event level if given opportunity, AEW would have been like, it's kind of like, it kind of fucks with your mind, thinking of the possibilities. If you get the time machine out. Like,
you just sit here and just start smiling. It wouldn't be a whole lot of audio. It would just be like,
yeah,
just deep in thought, kind of like, all right, what? We gonna show Eddie Kingston versus this guy?
Oh my
God. You know, he's gonna wrestle all the BCC members. Oh, okay.
Him versus Claudio. Sign me the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
As far as Diddy, hot take: throw him under the jail.
All right. So when we did the show last week and we recorded our own, like, audio kept dropping. So like I made the unilateral executive decision to just chop the whole Diddy segment. Ultimately, I think that was the right decision because like you found more and more details, and it was like, oh, there's really not much to all these little jokes that ain't no. We're past the point for jokes. I understand you want to make jokes about the baby oil or whatever. Nah, man, we past that. Like, I saw that he's getting sued for bounding some woman and raping her today via TMZ. Like, the man should be prosecuted for full extent of law. Whatever they find on him, we're going to find out about it. Like, because of his like his notoriety and ubiquitousness in rap, like he's going to, him shows. I think they're going to be like, way bigger than even like the YSL stuff with Thug. And like, I think we're going to find the people that are going to watch this stuff. There's going to be a huge difference. You're going to know the difference between people who watched it and followed this or follow along with all this stuff and who didn't. Right? Like the same thing. I mean, it's not the same thing, but like in a similar fashion, like the OJ stuff. Like if you followed that OJ stuff or you watched the documentary or OJ Made in America compared to like you just general thing, you're watching Saturday Night Live and you're seeing the Johnny Cochran, Judge Ito, jokes and all that kind of shit. Like you could find some of this stuff amusing. It's not fucking amusing. This shit is bad. This shit's very bad. And, he's presumably going away for a long, long time because, his bill was $50 million. He tried to do it and they told him no.
They say, keep your money.
Yeah.
We don't want your money. We want your life.
Yeah. So they've been hit that man, this man's bound to get hit with some 4-digit life sentence or some 4-digit sentence.
I think like everything that's like happened with him is quite possibly like the biggest celebrity scandal. Like you brought up OJ since OJ. This outweighs the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. This outweighs the R. Kelly stuff until correct. Like this nigga's been famous for 30 years. Like right.
Yeah.
And it's like how the potential of the people that are wrapped up in this, potentially, and then
famous
the possibility of him flipping on all of them.
Yeah, and also like famous in a way to where it's like Snoop Dogg, where it's like he is a part of Americana. He's done Burger King Super Bowl commercials. You know what I'm saying? Like, forget that he's not just one of those rapper guys. Like he's one of those guys that people first think of when they think of music in the 90s and in 2000s, and they put a smile on their face thinking about it, except now they got to think about changing that fucking smile now. Like it's totally different now.
It's tough, man. I hope the people get justice, like the victims get justice.
Yeah. And me, we've talked about this even in the past for a little bit, like for a few years now. Like I've been ever since I found about the publishing shit with Diddy and those nasty games he's playing. It's like, nah, man, I've been off on Diddy for a few years now, and like I've been having a few conversations with our friends about like, yo, this dude's a scumball. He's a scumball, and that was just on the business end, right? And like a lot of these dudes, that's the business. Like you get raped. Poor choice of words. You use people, or you get used, and then you get to a position where you use other people when they come in, as far as financially in the music game. And then like now it's like it's actually rape now. Forget the metaphorical. It's the literal now. It's
bad, man.
It's really bad. It's really bad. And I hope for justice for all the victims, because man's a monster. There's no way to sugarcoat it outside of that. Man's a monster that made some hits. Oh, fucking well.
96 FKA. Do you guys think Marigold will stay solvent, or will they need the Fed stimulus in the near future? I got news for you. There is no Fed stimulus coming to them. Like, there will be scraps from time to time that will happen. WWE does not. They still don't play well with others. They'll still have to show me that they're down to support, another company and send people worthwhile to help. Who are they sending to TNA? They're sending people that can't get on Level Up to TNA. Like, who do they really have to send to Marigold? Like, they're not going to send like Rhea Ripley.
They're not sending Rhea Ripley. They're not sending Kiana James. They're not sending Sol Roca. They're not sending Bianca Belair. They're not. I mean, they might send Natalya just when Natalya wants to go.
Yeah,
maybe.
Then it's like, all right, you're going to send EO. They already did that,
right? So that means they'll send Kyrie
at some point, I would imagine.
They're gonna ask Asuka to go. They even had Asuka take that picture of Rossi.
Yeah, that's not happening.
We'll see how that goes.
Like, and I don't know like how effective Kyrie will actually be on their business, or like mixed results in her return from her drawing record. I know people will argue it either one way or the other. What it was when she popped back in, and it's like, I don't know. Like, Marigold seemingly had a lot of buzz when it first started, and it looked really cool, and then it just hasn't like taken over the timeline in a way that it did with that first announcement of shows. Right.
Because they launched with their biggest star losing the belt to Sari, and then now she's in NXT.
Or Julia.
That's what I meant in Julia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure they thought they were going to have Julia a little longer than that. Like 6 months. Not 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Or closer to 6 weeks, and you get my point.
If anybody believed that like they've been pulling people from I don't know. This lines up with what WWE does. Doesn't really shock me. Tim Hunter says, did James watch Queen of Villains, and does he feel vindicated?
Have not watched yet. Honestly, have not watched much of any TV shows in a while. So sorry to disappoint. I will. It is on the list, so it's not like I'm ducking or anything. Like, I will watch it because it's a TV show. So I don't have anything slick or underhanded to say or dismissive to say. I'll watch it because I do like that era of wrestling, and I do like a lot of the TV shows about pro wrestling that I've seen over the years. Like, I think the only one I didn't check out was the one on Stars, the one with your boy Cody's homeboy, Arrow.
Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell. Yeah. That's the one I missed. So, because the one, what was it called? The one that had CM Punk in it?
Heels.
Yeah, I didn't watch that, but I don't watch anything that has stars on it like that, including the shows. You be like, I can't believe you don't watch it. Be like, I don't really watch 50 Cent dramas. I don't. No, not against them. I saw a couple episodes of BMF. I liked it.
Yeah, I saw a couple of episodes of Heels, and I thought it was pretty funny. I didn't really get too deep into it, but let me see. Do not watch the dub with Alexa Bliss. Oh, so I got a question about that.
Is it bad or is it just like to keep up with the gimmick?
So, no, like the show Heels?
No. As far as the dub, meaning like, because they did an English dub version of the show with like.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like,
right.
Is like when
so
I
when
pull
you say
it up
don't
on
listen
Netflix,
to it, is it like the definitive Alexa Bliss rant because we've made that, or is it like the dub actually stinks, so you're better off watching subtitles? I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, if I just pull up my Netflix right now, like, what will like come up? Is it like
you go to the options
Japanese
thing? I imagine.
Okay, I was gonna say is it in Japanese and it's subtitled. Like, what's the? I don't know. I got to check it out, but
bro, I haven't used Netflix in like almost 2 years.
Gonna watch this Vince documentary.
If you want to watch for the show, I'll watch it.
You know, I'm seeing all these reviews come out on it, and it just looks like it's exactly what I was saying in that trailer breakdown I did. Like, it's going to leave everybody wanting for more. And I think we should talk about the Vince McMahon statement, because I think a lot of people have this, like, I don't want to say they have it wrong, but what I say is I don't think they're thinking about it enough. Like, with that statement, I think a lot of people are like, oh, it must be bad if Vince is coming out, very aggressively towards it. I saw that and immediately I was like, oh, so the guy that is the ultimate control freak, who has controlled his storylines and lived in his own fantasy world for the last 40 years, essentially, does not have control of this project. So what could have possibly set him off? It could have been anything, like small. It could have been something medium. It could have been something that had nothing to do with all the stuff we're thinking about, like Rita Chatterson, the Jimmy Snuka murder, the Owen Hart murder, Benoit, fucking Janelle Grant here. And it's like, if it was nothing to do with that, we know how anal this guy is about all his storylines.
The Ring Boys.
The Ring Boy scandal, the Sable lawsuit. I'm like, he could have freaked out about anything. So like, I feel like we're all going to be like, wow, they didn't go harder. But when Vince puts that statement out, it's like, oh, we're going to get him now. We got the dirt now. But I don't know if everybody's ignoring this. WWE and Netflix are in a partnership together. Wouldn't it benefit both WWE and Netflix for their business going forward to disassociate themselves as much as possible from Vince McMahon and to try to airbrush everything like, this is the future now. We can feel good about it because this guy's not around.
The dictator has been toppled.
That's like what this is. And even though it's more than just Vince McMahon on the lawsuit, even though they have largely the same infrastructure
on the power structure that knew of these things well before they became public, and let the shit ride, then whistleblow, just held the water, told the company line, collected their checks,
and who are the people that are in this production? All the people that have been on all these DVDs for years.
Yep.
And then
also rumors of them deploying Brock Lesnar at any given point or time in the future still on the table.
And TKO has no reservations about doing that.
But you get my point. Like, Brock is tied to the real explosive stuff and event stuff from this past year.
So like, you got Rock, you got Cena, you got Hogan, you got Austin on this thing. They're pulling out all the big guns. Essentially, they're like, this is the thing that
they pull out Brett.
They pulled out Brett. So it's like they are trying to create this piece of media to be the official break from Vince McMahon.
Yep.
For the future, like, we've seen Triple H redubbing all these things, as James has pointed out, right? On all these events. This thing is going to end with Paul Levesque crying, looking in the camera, and then everyone else giving quotes about Paul. It was like, but Paul was here and stepped up in the time of need, and it's going to be like this whole quite frankly, sickening display, like of just like we know what this is. This is a game plan. This is a play that's being ran. We're not getting them kicking the door in on some like, on some Tiger King shit. We're not getting them in like one of these cult shows. Like, you ever watch those shows like about the cults, James? Like, like various like religious cults.
I get what you mean.
Like, where they're like, yeah, all these terrible things happen to these people, but this is how these people overcame this. Like, they're going to act like the wrestlers in the company were the victims here, and then it was just
and not
one
some of the
guy.
perpetrators and co-conspirators.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So like, it makes me feel weird that I'm going to have to watch this thing because I'm going to see everyone tweeting about it. I'm going to see the WWE adjacent media and people that would like to be the WWE adjacent media.
Oh, seen a lot of that online recently.
Oh yeah, people hoping they get emails from Chris LaGentle. But I'm gonna see all this, and then I'm gonna be like, "Are we watching the same things? Do y'all not know what's happening here?
Right?
Are you dumb?" Like, it's gonna be interesting to see how Dave talks about this. I will hold judgment and see what he says, but Dave's been really, he's had a lot of this stuff and written about it in detail for years with Vince.
Yep.
So, like, how was Dave Meltzer not interviewed for this? Oh, I know why.
Right.
But I guess we need to watch it for the show now. We need to have no Jim Ross. He was there.
Interesting. I didn't think of that.
Oh, Dave is in the documentary.
How long? But here's the thing: people sit down for these things for God knows how long, and they only use what they want to use.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how much is Dave gonna get used?
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see. What
just had
when he says that is counter to, because WWE is really good about setting their narrative, especially in the Nick Khan era now. Like, they're gonna push straight forward with whatever the vision is. It may seem a little murky, but at the end of the day, they're going to come out and try to sell exactly what they want.
Yeah.
Nithman, no way TK would allow JR to go on there and possibly incriminate himself. I don't think...
That's a good point.
Yeah.
There is no way Ross don't know shit. But then again, Ross is all over the dark side of the rings.
Yeah, he was.
So so you may have a point, but you may not also. But you may also be like, hey man, if you want to, might be able to find a way to fire him with cause, fire him from a moral thing, like, hey, because he ain't really adding much value these days. Only way he adding value is if he sits down with Swerve Strickland.
I think it would. There are a lot of people out there that do know where the bodies are buried. I don't know if we'll hear from them all. And this thing is at the end of the day, Bill Simmons is involved with this. Netflix is protecting their 5-year deal with WWE. And I think if you are someone that does not follow the pro wrestling business in a hardcore capacity, you may find this entertaining. You may find it informative.
You will find it illuminating. Right. You absolutely will. The same way that we talk to people that are wrestling fans, and bro, like, almost weekly, I have to tell them some stuff and I go to the gym and I got 2 huge WWE fans and I talk to them, and like, actually one of them, I was like, hey, you want a Yeet shirt for Christmas? Yes, I want a Yeet shirt for Christmas. We finna go matching Yeet shirt for Christmas, Rich. Yes. Anyway, but yeah, like, they'll tell me stuff and I'll be like, they refer to it as the dirt sheets. They call them the dirt sheets. I've been looking on the internet, and I'll be like, telling me some stuff that I heard about a week or 2 ago, and I'm like, they don't know. These are normal adjusted people that aren't like, they don't have a podcast where they talk 2 hours a week about pro wrestling.
What's wrong with them?
Hold on. About pro wrestling, it's not even WWE.
Look, what's wrong with them? We're the normal ones.
Right. No. So yeah, like, I for a lot of people, they don't know this kind of stuff.
So they're going to get a little taste of this, and this is going to be all stuff we've heard and seen in DVDs and know the
like?
real reporting on. It's like, hey, motherfucker, like, you ain't going to tell, like...
You know what it's going to be like?
What?
It's going to be like the last few episodes of The Last Dance for the Jordan 30 for 30, where it's like, bro, not only do I know this stuff, like when we were covering it, when it was like the first few bits, like we were talking about Jordan's career, and then all of a sudden to come back from baseball, that second three pit, we were like, I remember you at one point, you were like, bro, this is boring. I know all this stuff. It's like, yeah, Rich, we know all this stuff. This is like, this is like saying like, yeah, man, like I'm a devout Christian and I know the Old Testament like the back of my hand. It's like, yes, we lived this kind of like, this is our childhood. We grew up in this. We were in church study every fucking Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? For Jordan. Like, so we know like the back of our hands, but not everybody does. That's reason for it. So like, it's going to be informative to a lot of people. But for us, it's going to, I'm sure, going to be like 5% of the stuff we didn't know. Oh, I learned this much. Everyone else will be like, oh my God. You chatter and be like, where y'all been?
Right. I'm like, yeah, man.
Like, bro, I can't wait if it's in there. Like, about how, he bought Georgia Championship wrestling time slot. People will be like, he did what? Yes, nigga. Yes.
What do you think it all started from?
Yes. He been working underhanded the whole time.
Yes. Hold on, his dad sold him the territory?
Yes, he's a Nepo baby, yes.
For what? For like 25 cents on a dollar? Like, I don't...
Yeah.
He didn't make all the payments?
Yeah, sold him at a huge discount. Didn't bother with no other competition. And this is at the time, like, right as cable is starting to take off, and they're in the territory that has New York, Boston, DC, Baltimore, Philadelphia. Gee, I wonder why it's the most successful wrestling promotion ever. This is before internet.
Amazing. Like they about to be like, yeah, man. I didn't know that. Like he hired all the Hart brothers and then like didn't pay his dad. Like I don't.
That's another one.
So his dad said, fuck that. It opened back up anyway. Yeah, so just wanted to bring that up. But yeah,
they'd be like, I didn't know that he was offering all of the Hart family jobs again after Owen died to try to get his wife from not suing him for wrongful death lawsuit. I didn't know that. Yes. That's what happened.
Amazing. Yeah, man. So we should talk about AEW Dynamite from last week.
Okay.
I like this show more than last week's show, for sure.
That's good, because last week's show was weird.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks ago show was weird.
Yeah, it was. I thought we got some good matches on this show, and yeah. So and that started up with Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho.
Yep. My background's backwards. I'm gonna have to fix that. Great. All right.
So I thought this was a good match right here. They brought up something that I didn't even realize. All those matches they had, they were like, yeah, this is the first one in front of fans that those two ever had.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
And this kind of reminded me, it may have been their first or second match on Dynamite that was really fucking good during the pandemic. And I was like, yo, they're busting their ass. There was a point during this match where I thought I kind of felt similar to this. And, Jericho's been struggling, a little bit lately in the ring. And, his cage match page, who've been tweeting it out, even though they're not acknowledging he's not being fairly graded or anything. But whatever. They can't say nothing about this match with Orange Cassidy. I thought this was really fun. I thought the right man won, and it was a creative finish too to kind of put him over and protect Jericho kind of at the same time.
Yeah, I know that they have a match at Grand Slam, trios match. Where do you think this goes from here? Do you think this goes to another pay-per-view match between those two?
They could do that. Jericho feuds don't end quickly. So
that is the Adam Cole one kind of ended kind of fast, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But that is the exception, not the rule.
Yeah, they had to get Cole into like the title program immediately.
Yeah.
So that kind of set up that trios match as you mentioned. From there, we got footage of the BCC last week. It was shown with Pac asking where Wheeler Yuta was since All Out. That's right. Pac demanded somebody to come to work, which is insane. So he was like, yeah, it's time to come to work.
I'm upset that I didn't think of that. Because I love talking about how that man don't show up to work. I love talking about how wrestlers don't be showing up to work. Oh, like, man. That's
I know you ain't talking
right. How dare you?
So next week,
brother, you owe us like 40 matches.
Yeah, pay up, nigga. Like, so he said it's time to come to work. Casadoli said he's not mad, he's disappointed.
That was great.
He thought he taught you to better. Claudio told you to do him this favor and show up next week and defend their belts. Moxley then said he knows it's difficult, but Yuta has his own choice, either stay or leave. He has a responsibility for the greater good to look at himself in the mirror every morning. What kind of man does he want to be? Literally seconds later, Wheeler Yuta is around the corner with Alex Marvez. Man leaves his belt in the locker room. So it's like he is actually at the building. So it's like, what the fuck? Like, is he hiding out? Like, what's happening here? He asked him his thoughts on Claudio and Pac demanding that he show up next week. Yuta then, said he's conflicted on recent events, obviously, because he's worked his whole career to be a champion. Someone handed him his trios belt, and he said, as you can see, I'm all over the place. So there's your symbolism. But if those guys want a favor, then next week he'll kick whoever's ass was necessary. I kind of took that as like, all right, is he going to try to fight his own team? Like,
he's definitely gonna be conflicted, and that's gonna be one of the layers to it. Yeah. So yeah, I think it was well done, and that's you tune in to see that match, and you're gonna see how it plays out as far as him tagging in, and interacting with Pac and Claudio. So yeah, it's an interesting storyline to see like where his heart takes him in a way, Yeah. And it may play into the main event if Nigel and Danielson is the main event, of course.
So
if Danielson is in fact cleared to wrestle,
we'll get there in a minute. But FTW champion Hook took on a nigga named JD Inc. So we're back to doing Hook squashes. Like, get him the fuck out of here, man. I don't.
Now, I have never said get the fuck out of here in that way. But
I'm done, man.
Yeah,
Roger Strong gotta, like this man
gotta carry him. Gotta carry him. And Roger gonna lose to him too. That's what makes it even worse.
And this man about to get a singles match on this show.
Right. The same way he got a match at All In. Yeah. What are we doing?
We got to send Hangman Page to the fucking weekend, but we got to watch Hook here. Like, what are we doing, man?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But the sooner they realize that to put him in a tag team again, the better. Damn, this man's so frustrated. He knocked the cover off his mic again.
Bro, I banged the mic on my desk. I was just checking to make sure I didn't put a dent in that bitch.
Oh, man.
But Marvez is backstage. We found out Private Party is going to be the ones to get the trios title match, and I think they cut a pretty good promo.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the best. Like, it seems like Isaiah Cassidy is now the leader of Private Party. It kind of at one point it felt like Quinn was, but between Quinn's inactivity, Cassidy's kind of.
Do you think that was because Quinn was the more spectacular of the two, or do you think it was actually or do you think that was always the case? Like Quinn was like the emotional leader or the person that made you care about them outside of the flips they did in the ring.
Like I thought Quinn was like kind of the guy. Like if we were to basically run the split test on them earlier in their careers, like all right, which one of them is going to be the star? Like I think most people would be like Mark Quinn, right?
I would have said the same thing too because he's a more spectacular wrestler. Yeah.
but I don't know if that would necessarily be the case now.
I agree, because Quinn's happened to be healthier, and also we've seen more of his personality.
Yeah.
Like, on screen and off screen, especially off screen. Because that Hardy stuff, while it didn't get him over, was hilarious. And, like, the stuff he does where he is, like, he is like trying to invite like Garcia to the cookout and shit, and all the other stuff with like the do-rags. Like, that's just funny. He's a funny guy.
Yep. They basically said, if Mox want to fight, look no further. Blah, blah, blah. Renee's backstage with the patriarchy. Christian Cage brings up his son, Nick Wayne, said he's going to have a 4-way match on Rampage against Rocky Romero, Leo Rush, and Kip Sabian. So...
What is this Kip Sabian shit, bro?
I have no idea, bro. I don't know what this is.
Is it just to have another pin eater so Nick Wayne doesn't eat pins? It's like Nick Wayne ain't even wrestle enough to even eat pins at this point.
Like, bro, like Nick Wayne is like a part-time wrestler. Like, why is this
nigga in college, enrolled in college, we are unaware of it? Like, is this nigga taking 12 credits every semester? We're unaware. Is that a possibility? He don't, because now he out here wrestling for real.
Do we need his mom's permission to sign a permission slip for him to be booked? I don't know, man. This guy should be wrestling and like continuing to like. Before he signed with AEW, this guy had a reputation as like one of the next young, spectacular wrestlers in the world.
Why is he not? Yeah. Why has he not been like thrown into this like build up Ricochet thing?
Something.
Why are him and Kill Switch not a tag team?
Another good point.
I understand they're they did the trio thing, whatever else, but like throw those two, like, because Luchasaurus Kill Switch is getting over with the whole like, when are you going to reject your slave name, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what this is. But it's like, okay, but what about Nick Wayne, the 19-year-old or 20-year-old, whatever the fuck, the one that will be with the company a decade from now?
We got to push Hook. It's a big match. Cage decides he wants to hold.
Wait. To quote Hulk Hogan, this is why this company's totally the way it is. It's bullshit like this. Obviously, AEW's gonna follow me. My point, like, push Hook, like, bench start cut, right? We are starting Hook. We are benching Nick Wayne. What?
Why?
What? How?
Yo, okay, Hook is like 7 years older than Nick Wayne.
I didn't even think about that. Forget. Let's just forget. Let's just forget like how good they are now. Let's just do this. What are the odds that in 5 years Hook will be as good as Nick Wayne is right now?
Brother, Hook is 25 years old right now. Hook will be 30 years old in 5 years.
I understand what you're saying. My point is, we can't even do the whole thing of which one's better, because that's fucking obvious. My point is, what are the odds that in 5 years he will be as good as Nick Wayne is right now when he'll be 30 and Nick Wayne was 20? You know what I'm saying? This is how ridiculous it is.
He will not be as good.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those, like, all right, bro, like, trying to think of somebody. All right, got one for you. All right. What's your boy's name? Is the Trailblazers was on the Suns center, number one pick in the
DeAndre Ayton.
All right, what are the odds that DeAndre Ayton in 5 years will be as good as Victor Wembanyama? You know what I'm saying?
Low.
I'm saying shit like that. That's what I'm trying. That's the point I'm trying to get across. Like, this is fucking over. What are we doing?
Yeah, man. So. He said he wanted to hold double gold Wayne after he cashes in his casino gauntlet contract. Christian mentioned Renee's husband, John Moxley, might have something to say about that. Him becoming the AEW World Champion, he basically made Renee refer to him as the next AEW World Champion. Christian Cage, before he stormed off set to yell at Kip Sabian, and then they pretended like the camera like kept rolling and we weren't supposed to see that.
Yes, TNA.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck, man? He said, he doesn't care if his father's dead or whatever, and he said it dismissively or whatever. He wasn't trying to insult him. He's like, hey, man, I don't even care about that.
Yeah. Like, the camera's off. The camera's off. I'm not doing the gimmick right now. I don't care. Leave me alone.
Yeah. He keeps bothering Nick. He'll put him in the ground next to his father.
Yes.
So we got Queen Eminata and Yuka Sakazaki against Mariah May and Serena Deeb, and I was liking this match until it ended weird. Like until Mariah May just decided to boss Yuka Sakazaki upside the head with the belt.
Yep.
I don't know what this is for. Yeah,
challenger.
I don't know what this was supposed to do. We couldn't even give Yuka Sakazaki a win. Like we can't beat Serena Deeb.
Guess not.
Why not?
Look, man. I mean, one thing I will say, it is funny. Like you know, regardless of that, like I still get the meme if I want to. I'm making a GIF and I put the caption, "The star greater than the Tej," as she boshing Yuka across the back of the head with the belt. So I still got that. But outside of that, like I mean, there's really no point to this. I just expect a good match between two good wrestlers.
Yeah,
or a good wrestler and a great wrestler.
So
Yuka's a great wrestler for any y'all start with this white woman review bullshit. The great wrestler's Yuka. Knock it off. Don't even do it, Brewhaven. I don't even have the chat up. I know you was out here clicking and clacking on your phone or your keyboard. Don't even do it. Don't even try it.
I would have liked to finish here, but up until then, I was getting into the match. I thought they had a nice match, but moving forward. Mina Shirakawa.
I am happy to have seen Queen Eminata on TV in AEW TV the last few weeks. I will say that I have enjoyed her presence.
I always
real striking, real wrestling,
real live show charisma.
Of course.
Speaking of that, video package of Mina Shirakawa was shown. Says she hasn't heard from Mariah in months. She basically said Mariah's changed, but she still misses her. They've had so many good times together. They can have more. She has a place in her heart. She tells the AEW fans to get ready because Mina is coming. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, for those that aren't aware, Mina does often say Mina or Club Venus or Rose Gold is here or we're coming. She had much like Heavy Machinery with Otis. You say we're coming. Like yes, it's very on the nose. It's as subtle as a gun. It's funny though. It's hilarious.
Shout out to the Mina.
Yes.
So
Rolling
we
like
then
a big shot.
We were reminded that Bryan Danielson versus Nigel McGuinness will only happen next week if Danielson is medically cleared, which the commentary really stressed.
Rich,
they had go ahead.
Now, wouldn't that be winking at the audience? What now? I'm pretty sure they think whoever wrote that shit about Kenny Omega thinks that Danielson thinks very highly of Danielson, but if he's cleared to wrestle is definitely winking and nudging at the fucking audience along that you're inside the show that you understand and like, yeah, this shit's bullshit. He's cleared to wrestle. He's gonna wrestle on this show against Nigel McGuinness because they're speed running this man's championship retirement tour. Cut the shit.
I would like
we
to
already
ask
did a thing before the show. Before the podcast, before we start recording the podcast, you want to hear it, go to the Twitch.
I would like to ask that gentleman, like, is it winking at the audience when Bryan Danielson does a Caesar cell like 7 matches in a row? Is that winking at the audience too?
Is it winking at the audience when he elects to say, "Hey, bring my family in so like Swerve can like stomp me out in front of them for to traumatize my daughter."
Visual props,
right? Like, what are we talking about, man?
Oh, so they had a couple technical difficulties trying to show Nigel McGuinness's video, and then they showed flashback to 2006 and all that. I immediately fell asleep. And they talk about all the wars with the champions Mark Briscoe, Roderick Strong, Jay Lethal, Jerry Lynn, and all of them giving their thoughts. Strong said Nigel has always been Nigel's worst enemy. Nigel said that he said he's the best wrestler in the world, not Bryan Danielson. I kind of had a question that like has nothing to really do with this, but like a larger point on Danielson. So the fact that he's not signed to a contract, is that why they have to keep doing the like in these builds and kind of matches, they're doing these angles to like write him off of television or leaning very heavily on the other person to carry this stuff?
Maybe, but the way it's always been talked about with Danielson is like he's always backstage for all this shit anyway, even when he's on or off. Like, remember there was a point in time where Khan was like, I trust Danielson with like running the shit if I'm not around or if something happened to me. Remember that?
Yeah.
So I kind of think he has a job. It's just he won't be wrestling in the future.
Yeah. So like
health insurance, Rich. Health insurance.
Yeah.
You know that's important. That's important for many 2000s ROHers. Health insurance. You know, because there's another one in the NXT side of it, and he out here trying to get the same thing he had in AEW after he burnt that bridge. Health insurance.
So I don't know. I was just thinking. I was like, all right, because like this is another thing. He's Lean on Nigel do all this shit after they did the write-off angle with the BCC. So I'm like,
I mean, Rich, here's my question: do you want him do you want him to cut a promo from a hospital bed?
I don't care if he sells at all. Like, honestly,
but I'm just saying, like, it's like, what's the alternative? It's like he's at the house shooting in via satellite.
Shit, come out there and act like you the JYD. Like, why aren't we able to write Bryan Danielson letters? Like, why is like, they're not some P.O. box address for the children to write into the world champion, James, like who has been murdered on pay-per-view. Like, no one was able to contact this man. Like, where's the fan mail?
I mean, look, hold on, look. It's 2024. I think an email address suffices.
No, handwritten only. Bryan Danielson's an old school man.
So now we made him Jadilla. He's a classic man.
Yeah, this man does not even have. He has no indoor plumbing, James. That man shits in the backyard.
Wait. So now he's Shannon Sharp, like growing up in 70s rural South Georgia. Like, what are we doing?
That man has a compost toilet in the back. Like that's no bullshit. He actually does.
I can tell you this right now. I don't know Brie Bella much, but there's nothing tells me that she's putting up with no kind of bullshit like that. Like, yeah, we gonna live off the land. Nigga, I will leave you and I will find someone else.
Oh,
this is a 20. Look here, this is a 21st century. Damn it.
So I'm about to drop them the anti-Ring of Honor shirts. I don't know if y'all can see the logo in the back. We gonna put that
like
out.
The Ghostbuster shit. You put this circle line through it. Oh my god.
Yes. Wrap this shit up.
You didn't mind Ring of Honor when the Ocho was the champion. You ain't mind it then.
I mean, Jericho is excellence. And that was the new Ring of Honor. It's
Ring of Honor.
It's a constant reference to the old Ring of Honor. Now I'm just like, all right, man, we good, man. I'm straight.
I like how 2000 Ring of Honor has turned into your version of me with the 80s wrestling. I like it. I like it because it's like, bro, Ring of Honor 2000s, like for the stuff I've seen, has been fucking amazing. It's way better than some of the shit I've seen from the 80s, and you out here shitting. And you shit on all the same. It's amazing.
Look, I don't give a fuck. That shit never moved. That shit never got popping ever. You know what got?
I don't care about. But here's the thing. I don't care about the numbers, right?
Look,
I don't care about the numbers.
I'm about to say you know what got Ring of Honor popping? The Elite, nigga. That's what got them niggas popping. That's who got them popping. So,
you have a point. You do have a point.
So, we gotta live these glory days I wasn't there for. So I'm sure somebody likes it that's out there. All 600 of them just turn up.
Oh man.
So, but let's see what we got next.
At Rich Lotta 32. Do not the other ass according to 1H Radio. Do not. That's him. Like I get what he's coming from. I don't have that same level of frustration, but I do think it's funny.
Yeah, and now I'm gonna lean in. Like now I'm gonna make it funny or whatever. I'm like, what 5'10" white nigga are they rolling out next?
Ooh, I don't know,
James,
but I do know that there's open challenge for the TNT title, and I
was just about to bring that up.
And I thought to myself like, that might be time for Kenny Omega.
You stupid.
No, because like, hey, who you got to pin on Omega
and all that, but they're not gonna bring him back on Collision.
That's on Collision. Okay, never mind.
I think so.
Never mind.
But I saw Jack Perry's doing open challenge. James dropped it in the chat today and was like, "Who could it be?" And immediately I just decided to, all right. Maybe it's somebody from the Ring of Honor roster from the mid 2000s. That seems to always be the answer. Maybe it's Austin.
It was RVD. It was RVD once.
Maybe it's Austin Aries. Maybe he's able to walk through. Maybe it's Delirious. Roger Strong's already booked, so it can't be him. Maybe it's Davey Richards. Maybe Rocky Romero is itching for his shot at the TNT belt.
I think you just announced that. I don't think you put it as a surprise. You're like, nigga been backstage for weeks.
Eric Stevens, come on down, unretire. El Generico, can you come out the orphanage? Where you at? Chris Hero, he backstage too.
When is Owens' contract up?
End of the year, maybe.
Okay, not him then.
Larry Sweeney, Adam Pearce. He works on the other joint. Let's see. Pele Primo, Jimmy Jacobs. He's backstage.
He's still there.
I believe so. The Necro Butcher. Can we bring him out? For Jack Perry. Ruckus. Jigsaw. Brent Albright. Shane Hagedorn, Bobby Dempsey. I feel bad because I don't know if all these people are still alive. I don't know. Joey Matthews, Julius Smokes. It could be anybody, James. I don't know. I don't know who it could be.
You got the names?
Jack Evans.
Oh my God, we haven't seen
back.
Remember this when the shit about he was locked up in Mexico? Did we ever find the resolution on that one?
No.
Okay.
We did not.
Okay.
Adam Cole would be a nice surprise, but I heard he's in rough shape, so I don't know.
God damn, still?
Yeah, like that man whole shit shattered.
Are the bones not healing?
Bruh, look, at this rate, they might have to cut that foot off, bitch.
Is Adam Cole diabetic and I was unaware of it?
Bro,
I know Roddy's diabetic.
I don't know. But that man has had a tough 12 months, and it's been 12 months since that shit with the ankle.
Bro, I've never heard I never heard of someone breaking a was it like the Bo Jackson shit where like it separated, like it cut up like blood supply and they didn't realize and they had to go back in or something? Like, what were the complications for this to happen?
Bro, never has a nigga got more hurt off of something seemingly so simplistic. Like, yeah, he jumped off the stage.
He jumped off a horizontal ramp.
Like, what? Maybe a 3-foot drop or whatever.
4-foot drop.
4-foot drop. And I'm like, yeah, his whole shit just like.
Yeah.
Feel bad for the guy. Jesus. Yeah. But yeah, Nigel versus Bryan Danielson next week.
Oh man, y'all nasty in here. Drink more milk.
Damn.
That's nasty. Adam Von Erich. Oh, because you said cut. Okay, you said cut his foot off. God damn it.
Yeah. But yeah. So I don't even know what I should really expect. Should I expect a great match? Like, these niggas haven't wrestled since 2009. Nigel McGuinness hasn't wrestled in
2011.
Okay. So like, I don't know. Maybe they got something in them. I
mean, it's Danielson, and they have a history. They can play on it. And for a lot of people, they haven't seen it. So, like, a lot of stuff could be like, we never saw some of this awesome stuff. They're just callbacks for people. So, I think there'll be something. And it's also like, I don't think Nigel did the all-in stuff, and then and there wasn't a plan for them to go through this and have something. So, I'm sure he's been in there working his ass off to be ready. Like, I'm sure. Now, do I think they sent a ring to his house like how they did with Edge? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's like the whole thing with the setup of this has been lackluster at best.
Well,
it is.
He got suffocated by Moxie 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
it wasn't much room. It wasn't much room or time for the quote unquote traditional build, other than like one day everyone have a match, and I'm gonna be shitting on this man on commentary and be the best color commentator by shitting on this man at every one of his matches for the last like almost 2 years. That's really all we got.
Tony, this feels a lot more like Jerry Lawler versus the WWF champion than the ultimate rivalry, like Flair Steamboat being renewed. Like,
not going to disagree with you, but I do want to see the match. I just wish it was placed in a better place than this, because I think like it just seems like narrative mandate. Like, we got to get them out of here. We have an out date, and we got to shove all of this shit together before we get out of here.
I know a great place for it. Ring of Honor. Moxley sent another message. He came out again, so Moxley's getting multiple segments. So this is how I know he locked in. Good for him, because man,
I don't give a damn. As good as this was, I'm like, look, man, I'm glad Moxley back, because when Moxley when he's at his best, it's like, man, this company just works differently when like Kenny Omega or John Moxley's at the top, and they are here firing on all cylinders. They really do. I don't know why, but it just hit different. It really do.
I had a conversation in the Trish and Sarah Discord today, and I was like, yo, Moxley's been trashed for like a fucking year up until now. So like this is refreshing, and like basically I was like saying he got another chance to do some shit, even he's been trash or whatever. So I was kind of talking about Hangman. I was like, well, if you're like using him and you giving him this big win, and then he's getting shunted off to Saturday now and this shit, and that's the first time we see him since then, like, this is a problem. Like, I was like, this guy's been nothing but excellent all year, and he's been...
Well, we can't say all year because he wasn't around all year. But
all summer.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
That. But, yeah, like, Moxley's like, he's... Bro, like, all he has to do is, like, come out here and have a great match, and I'm like, all right, let's go. Like...
Yeah.
And he's gonna be in there with Darby Allin. So
you're right. So Moxley is definitely motivated his character. He has new energy, and also him and Darby love each other and want nothing more than to go out there and have these kind of matches. So like I expect like the weird 9 months of John Moxley in 2019 to be quickly to be done with, and we're back on track to where we were like this whole AEW New Japan run.
So Moxley, Claudio, and Marina, who brought the live show charisma, made their way from the ring to the crowd, but Private Party jumped them, or tried to jump them.
Brother.
Didn't go well. And they just got fucking murdered.
Moxley didn't sell that shit at all. It was awesome.
Yeah, I was like, Castagnoli gave him a choke breaker, gave Mark Quinn a choke breaker. Moxley sent Cassidy into the steps, and then Marina Shafir started kicking the shit out of him. Moxley held Cassidy as Shafir kicked him. Commander was just sitting in the middle of the ring all of a sudden. He tried to dive, but he got hit with the "you going to jail now" midair. Alex Abrahantes got slammed by Marina. She took the mic from him, and Commander got thrown into the second row. Moxley then had a toolbox, and he brought a hammer over to Cassidy, saying they could end their careers after pulling what they just did. They've been here since the beginning, but they're in the same spot they were 5 years ago. There was a Road to where he expanded on this. That came out today. That was really good.
Okay, I didn't. Okay, I'll check it out, but I didn't need that because I was like, oh, for those that were upset that he got, that they, did that to them the week before. This is clearly something for them. This is leading somewhere.
Yeah. Moxley said he's going to give them what they've been missing, some friction, an obstacle to overcome. Consider this a gift. He smashed his hand with a hammer, and he gave him the "you sick fuck" chance. And, I don't know if they're still getting the match next week or whatever, but it has not been confirmed or denied. So,
okay. So I thought this was another excellent layer. We don't know where Yuta's allegiance lies and his headspace is. And then you have Cassidy working through this hand thing. these are great layers to have for easy storytelling for this match of, can they pull off the upset because, it's they're down, it's 5-6 fists, right? That sounds crazy. But you know what I'm saying? Like they're down, they have one weak arm, right? In the situation. And then they have Yuta and like, he might just jump off the apron on them. You never know. And Moxie's predisposed because he has a match later in the show. So he can't be out there. Right? And Marina's tied to Moxley, seemingly. So she might not be out there either. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we have something that played for a fun match for me. So I actually like where this is headed. I'm just willing to see. I'm willing to wait to see where they head with the execution of this whole match and storylines afterwards. I'm in though. I'm in.
Yeah. I like what they're doing. Like, it kind of gives like Private Party something to.
Right. And if they get that big upset, because we don't know who their third person is still.
Yeah, we don't know who their third person is, and
I don't think it'll be ROH from 2000s though.
We can't be so sure at this rate. But yeah, like I just want to see these guys end up getting something, because like I think they've worked really hard for a long time and just haven't found something to break through. Even if they get killed,
luck. They got stapled to Matt Hardy. And
yeah, like. It would be nice if like Garcia was their partner or whatever, because that's
a lot of sense. It would
their
be awesome.
homeboy.
It would be awesome.
But he got killed.
Can they take over BTE?
I think they already got their own. Like Isaiah Cassidy got his own channel.
No. Get rid of the Be in the Dark Order shit. Like give them the
I would sign up for that. I would sign up for that in a heartbeat. But we got a video package of Jack Perry driving a scapegoat bus, showed his recent defenses.
That's not what it's called.
The sex bus?
It's something. Sex bus, bang bus is something.
Yeah. So they showed him whooping on CD and Leo Rush. And then we got Ricochet versus the Beast Mortos. So, all right. I gotta say it. I like the match. Thought it was good or whatever. I'm not convinced Ricochet is going to be a main eventer, like a main event level guy in AEW.
I don't disagree with you. However, it feels like to me every week he's getting better and better, and it's like he's reacclimating to like having to really, really wrestle. And I thought that he was fantastic in this match aside from the botch at the end. There's a big botch at the end, so it's not like a thing where I can't just like gloss over it. But I thought that him and
I wasn't as much worried about it or whatever, because like for me, like the match itself, it seems like whoever's Ricochet's opponent is coming and is like, it's my time to ball. Like in like between Sammy, Kyle Fletcher, and now Mortos is showing up, and it's like, hold on, Ricochet, do you realize you're supposed to be the one that's shining?
Right. I don't disagree with you, but his matches have gotten progressively better every time. So, like, he's gonna end up with Ospreay in 2 weeks. So it's like
it feels like Will's
at the rate this is going,
feels like Will's just gonna go ahead and give him one of these, hitting blades,
or Callis screws him and Ricochet ends up with the belt, and then Ospreay is more predisposed to getting his revenge.
I think
either way, I kind of got the 4.5 up for the over under for that.
I think Ricochet needs like, I don't know. There's
also he clearly is not. He's still that I think the hurt that really hurts is like the finisher.
Yeah, he's not comfortable with it. Like I don't want to say he's not comfortable with it because I don't know that, but. What it is,
it's not flashy enough for someone.
It's not flashy.
It's not flashy enough for what stuff he does in a regular match. That's the way he finishes the match. No,
it's not spectacular. Like when I would watch Ricochet in 2017, I was like one of the biggest Ricochet fans in the world, and I felt like you could drop him anywhere, and he could be like, "Yeah, I'm one of the 5 best guys on earth," or whatever. I do not feel that same way about him anymore through these first 3 matches, and
I think that's fair.
It's like. What it's like fuck, like I know he's like, let me see, I think he's 36 now. I think he's 36. I hope I think
he's 36 and he's wearing baggy pants, and clearly he's wearing knee pads.
Yeah.
Or big knee pads.
Yeah. So it's a tough stage. So it's like he's not going to be able to get over doing all the things that he once did. So he's got to find another way to unlock something else, whether it's like getting matched up with the right person where he can get into some type of story, something about where he's willing to be vulnerable. But like, it's like, all right, no one's ever pushed him as the top person anywhere he's been. And it feels like he's going to top out. Like, I feel like I already see his ceiling. And it's
TNT.
And it's like, it's one of those mid-card belts.
Yep.
Like, I think he should start looking for a tag partner, honestly. Like, and I think he should be like, you can put him with a big guy, a power guy. You can put him with another high flyer, like speed person.
So will you not want to see him in the Continental Classic?
I watched him in the Continental Classic.
Okay.
Yeah. But like, do I see him being like a top 2 on a block? I do not. Like, as far as like, whether it's performance or even how it was booked or whatever. Like, if I throw him and Takeshita in the ring together, it's like,
well, Takeshi's at this point is better wrestler.
Yeah. So like, it's like, I'm struggling with y'all know I love Ricochet, and I'm seeing him and I'm just like, fuck. Like, it's not going the way where I like when Will Ospreay came into this company. I know it's Will Ospreay, right? In 2024, where he's like the best guy.
Yeah.
I see how Ricochet then rolls in later in the year, and it's like every Ospreay match was an event. Every Ricochet match for me has almost been like, is this going to be the one? And it hasn't been yet. So 5-year anniversary. I feel
like he's still holding back so much, and I don't know how much of that is like on purpose for the Ospreay match, or how much of that is like he just doesn't have that kind of athleticism to do these sorts of things, right? Like, I got to see him. Versus like Pac or Ospreay to be definitive on like whether it's time to call, pronounce the death of his prime or not.
Yeah.
But, and I also am thinking like, I think a lot of this is like he has to adjust to wrestling outside of wrestling the style he used to wrestle.
Yeah,
because he was in NXT doing awesome shit, but it's like he was in NXT and then he was on I'm sure he has tons of confidence issues being fucked with in WWE main roster those last 5 years.
Absolutely, like there's got to be like somebody to like pull him aside and be like, yo, so like who do you want to be?
He's the kind of look, people listen. They're listening. He's the kind of talent that I saw because Tony Talk asked me about them. He's the kind of talent where like I'm willing to give him every single excuse, explanation, and benefit of the doubt until it's like, all right, he's in with Ospreay and it was just 4 stars. Okay, he just can't be the top of his promotion, and they got to move him down, slide him down somewhere else, whatever, and he can have good matches. In the first 2, in like an hour and a half into a pay-per-view, and then find a tag team form or whatever else, or grow roots in conglomeration or whatever else. I'm willing to give him all that kind of stuff. That dude was fucking incredible. Incredible. So I'm willing to do all that, and I'll come back on here if it doesn't happen and be like, hey, I'm with Rich. It got to move him down. But I have enjoyed his match, and I feel like his matches have gotten progressively better in his 3 matches he's had. And I think the Ospreay match will be the tell. If he can't do it in the 5-year anniversary with Ospreay, he ain't gonna be able to do it anymore.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. Him and Callis would not be a bad idea. Just radically change him. Like, he's never really been a heel on the national stage.
That's exactly what I want. The flippy guy, the flippiest of flippy guys to be with the heel, to be a heel. Awesome, great.
Yeah. Ugh. So we got a video of Hangman talking about he did what he had to do because of Swerve. Justice delayed is justice denied, and then we got a message we're going to hear from him next. They showed Collision.
He pulled out the civil rights quote after he burned the black man's house down.
He's been saying that, but
I don't remember him saying that before. But my point is still my point. That's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy.
Man, at least he's no longer.
I understand he's a heel. He's lost his mind, so he has no self-awareness. But it's like, that made me. It's like, you look at like you motherfucker.
At least he's not carrying the noose anymore. So,
oh my, yeah. I remember, I think I messaged you. Like, hey man, tell Swerve under no circumstances can he bring back the noose against Swerve? No, absolutely the fuck not. No, it cannot happen. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible fucking look. I don't know if me and you got through to him or if they just knew they couldn't go there. But I'm glad they didn't go there.
I forgot to send it, but yeah,
shout out to Swerve for having shout out to Swerve and Hangman to having the discretion and stuff where it's be like, we cannot do that. We cannot take it back to the trap. No, absolutely not.
So Hangman then explained his actions. Shivani welcomed him to the ring. Paige, walking out of the heel tunnel. Shivani brought up Paige mentioning that he would take out anyone who has ever defended Swerve Strickland or had his back, which led to a hilarious conversation in the One Nation Radio Discord while I was on the boat that I later saw. And I was baffled because I didn't know what happened.
Yeah. People were making jokes like Hangman was going to drop it. Going to drop in the chopper to get on the boat to get to Rich. Yeah. Oh, you making beats for this man? Oh, okay. You gonna hit you with the chair the same way you hit Evil Uno.
Oh, he said he's watched and listened for a long while that this moment would come that Swerve would be gone. He said he knew it wouldn't be just Strickland that would have to pay, but those who protected him from Paige, those who surrounded by him now, and they chanted, Swerve's house. He said these people cheered for Strickland after every world title defense while he was in the cage facing his fate. While Paige was home for 4 months suspended, he remembers a loud voice from the commentary desk. Then he kind of looked over at Shivani, and everybody thought it was the end of Tony Schiavone's days on national television. And then Shivani tried to mention Jeff Jarrett, and Paige said Jarrett's not who he means, and backs Shivani into the corner. From there, Jarrett's music hit. He ran out from the back. Paige jumped on him immediately. A lot of back and forth there, and he sent Jarrett over the barricade. They went at it in the ring. Security, came out and separated them. Lethal and Singh started holding Jarrett back. Paige stared at him from a distance. Jarrett then grabbed the mic and cut a great promo. Said he'll be damned if he allows Paige to put a finger on Tony Schiavone. He said there's an entire locker room of guys that want to beat the hell out of Paige, but I'm at the front of the line. And he said he promised Paige somewhere down the road he's going to kick his ass. It's the last thing he does in his career. I was fired up seeing this.
I'm fired up too. Paige finna beat the shit out of this nigga. Oh my God, it's finna be great. Oh, it's gonna be so great. This is a gift that keeps on giving. Every week that they come out here and beats on this nigga. Oh, it's so fun. Adam Page.
So they later announced that this is going to be a lumberjack strap match. And first thing I was like, hold on. Didn't CM Punk just do a strap match that was like some red light, stop light, green light shit? Like
Probably.
This shit's, bro, they are going to beat the fuck out of each other. This shit's going to be like everybody on the outside ring gonna have straps. Pause. And there's gonna be more straps in a certain type of party that I'm not even gonna bring up, but they are going to we already know how Paige gives it up, and I think Jeff Jarrett has been in a knockdown drag out brawl where he's gonna be bleeding before. This is gonna be phenomenal.
Look, man, in anticipation for this match, I might have to go back and watch some of the Hogan promos for the Yappa Pie Indian strap match. Like, just get myself primed and ready for the strapation, in the words of Hulk Hogan. Like, bro, like I am prepared to see Adam Page tear Jarrett's hide and expose the hot pink meat, right? And I'm waiting for Jarrett to beg and scream, and I'm waiting for Adam Page to then transform from Hulk to Hollywood and continue double strapping him with both fists until he begs for mercy, and then Adam Page will never stop. I am totally in on this man beating the shit out of this old nigga, bro, and getting him out of here. He needs to retire this man. Send him to the retirement home. Send him off to the farm. Get him the fuck out of my life. Take him off TV. Do it for me, Adam Page. Do it for me. Get him the fuck out of here. I want to see by the end of this match, that man is bleeding bloody, and then all of a sudden, that man is being hauled off in a stretcher. And I want him still attached to Adam Page. Adam Page closes the damn door, takes off the strap, and then the ambulance drives off. Never to be seen again, ever. Get him out of here, Adam Page. Please, I beg of you.
Bitch, you don't. Oh.
Well, it's a bit too far, but I'm about to say, you know what? The only way they'd be better is that the ambulance goes take him off, and Adam Page stops the car, and he Braun Strowmans and flips the fucking ambulance over. but that's too ridiculous. That's too ridiculous. But I would enjoy seeing if it were to happen.
That's crazy. Renee then was backstage with Ricochet. They're immediately interrupted by Will, who walks in saying there's always heat between them, but he apologized for last week. Ricochet accepted, but he said he's done doing what Ospreay said. He's getting his wins up. Everyone's coming after Ricochet more than he's worried about them. They're more worried about Ricochet than Ospreay, which isn't the case for Ricochet, who said he's got his match via Tony Khan October 2nd, 5-year anniversary of Dynamite. He's going to get the international title match against Ospreay, who might be on another level, but Ricochet is out of this world. He said he'll see him real soon. He called him little bro. I thought this wasn't bad from Ricochet.
I thought it was well done.
He gets.
I just wish
he's not the strongest talker in the world, but
right.
He's clearly trying something, and they're like, all right, we know what your weakness is, but we have to allow you to try to build on it. And I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Not great, just good. Not even very good, just good. They're playing on the part where it's like, this is a dream match. We want to give you a little bit of the taste of like, these two want to are actually driven to, or have been driven over the years to like be better than each other. And now they get to, after all these years, get to face each other again. So like, there's going to be, even though they are friendly, they're going to actually like, get nasty when the bell rings. So, nasty as far as meaning flipping like all over the place, but you get my point.
And Ricochet is calling him little bro, which is like, it's always been the dynamic between their relationship. Like, it's always been Ricochet's been here and Ospreay's been, below him, but the natural course of time has changed things. So it's like, all right, what does Ricochet have? Like what advantage do you still have over this man at some point? And then you're going to look and be like, I have no more advantages. So I'm going to have to try something crazy, apparently. And I think that's where we get whoever Ricochet is going to be determined out of this match. Whether it's a character-wise or whether it's where he's slotted.
Definitely character-wise.
Like, there's an opportunity for something. So, I don't know. Then we got the main event. Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher, and Konosuke Takeshita versus the Elite, Kazuchika Okada, Matthew, and Nick Jackson. And this was real fucking wrestling. The kind of wrestling that I hope pissed that person off that wrote that shit on Twitter today. Real fucking wrestling. Motherfuckers going crazy. False finishes. Elaborate sequences. Big moves. Athleticism.
And someone that desperately needed a big pin over somebody getting the big pin. And also all the intrigue of the inner workings of the Callis family and the dynamics at play and like setting the table, dropping the breadcrumbs for that will be, used down the line. Yes, great storytelling match. Great storytelling match. Fantastic match. Killer match, man. Like, it was one of those matches to be like, this is the kind of shit they used to do on early Dynamite, so we used to all love, and like they do less of them. And I figured like this is the kind of thing they were trying to do with the trios titles, but they just didn't get the support to do that. And like, yeah, man, this was fun. This is the best trios match in a while in AEW. And it was like, it makes you think of like, this is the kind of stuff that like you see on like on a road to, type of show. And this is maybe not to that level of great, but you know my point, like they're setting all this stuff for like the big show that people get to see, and then you feel the rewarding nature of like the stuff you see on the road twos or the TV before the pay-per-views. Yeah,
you got
awesome.
Ospreay pairing off with the Bucks. You got Ospreay and Okada locking it up for the first time at AEW. You got Takeshita and Okada.
Yep.
You got Fletcher playing off the Bucks. You got Takeshita in there with both of the Bucks, and it's just like all these cross pairings. There's not a single bad tag in this match,
bro.
And it's just like
the reversal of the Rainmaker into the Blue Thunder Bomb.
Amazing.
They're gonna fucking rip it up when they have a match, man.
Yeah, bro. This was like.
Like you said, you said this years ago. Like, you know, while the Kiyomiya stuff was happening, where he was, you know, big leaguing Kiyomiya, was like the actual match or the future person was Takeshita, and Takeshita was never gonna get there because he's a DDT guy. He's wrestling, you know, in the same promotion as fucking pheromones and all the goofy shit. Like it was never gonna happen that way. And
I was wrong.
The sad thing is, you know, the crazy part is like it's not happening in Japan. It's happening here. That's nuts.
Yeah, that's
This is a dome match. That's a dome matchup.
A dome match, or it's like
matchup.
It's like Wrestle Dynasty. Like, are you the Inoki show? Like, you put those two guys out there.
Oh, Wrestle
like,
Dream.
Yeah, that's what I think. But
fine by
I don't
me.
know if they do a situation where it's like Okada beats him the first time, and then because I saw this as like a C2 final personally, but maybe
does the champion have to defend the belt in C2? Or
yes,
or do we know?
Like the belt is up for grabs in the C2
at the end of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like I always thought if it still goes that way, if you do them at Wrestle Dream, you can have Okada win the first one, and then Takeshita basically is trying to get to the finals, and he's another block to face Okada again. And I think that's a nice kind of linear story there. But yeah, love this match, and I want more of this kind of shit closing the shows, or like, you know, using the big stars in like these big tag matches or trios matches. So only one person has to take a pin, and
remember,
get more people in there with each other. It's so exciting to see Okada and Ospreay in there together.
Like, I mean, it's a simple thing that we kind of got away from, like the all-star trios matches. Like when we were doing, or not trio, but multi-man all-star matches, right? Like when it was Moxie and Kingston and Darby and Sting and that wasn't an all-star versus heels. It was like, put the good guys all together and let them kick ass, and they get the photo op at the end. That was fun. Remember when they did Sting with Darby and CM Punk? That was fun when they did it, right? Like CMFTR, that was fun for a lot of people. It was fun for me. It wasn't, you know, on Saturdays when it was there for a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying? But like, they should make all these, like, you know, these babyface locker room, heel locker room, throw a scramble match out there more often, right? Like, I mean, one of the, you know, early on, it was like, hell, that's how we got to Hangman and Omega's tag team. Hangman and Omega on one side, tagging against Pac and Moxley. That was an awesome tag match.
Yep.
That was like the second or third Dynamite ever. You know, so it's like, they have so many wrestlers now to where it's like, I don't think that they have time to even think about that sort of stuff.
The answers are in the DNA of their own promotion, and they don't look towards their own history to figure out
because they've been brainwashed online by people saying you guys should be more like WWE. Guess what? You have ever since the day after the Dynamite immediately following Revolution. Has it helped your bottom line whatsoever? No. Okay, then go back to what the fuck you were doing. Bring back the rankings.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Why does Christian have a Money in the Bank contract?
A horrible idea on every level. Like I just don't get that. Like, I would never do that. Like, it was like, yeah, bro. Like, there are a couple of things we are not allowed to do. We are not allowed to, and they're doing a few of them.
Like, I don't mind.
Authority figure.
I don't mind
Money in the Bank.
I don't mind the Money in the Bank contract as long as it's you can't sneak up and surprise a motherfucker.
Correct.
You have to call your shot
challenge in advance. Exactly.
Now, if it's a situation where, like, oh my god, this person had a fucking cage match on Wednesday, and now next Wednesday they got to defend the title, great. You build a week of anticipation on what's going to happen to the title. But not this whole shit where, like, he might just run in after the Nigel match and then cash in New York City.
Yeah.
He might cash in after the Moxley match. He might cash in after the Darby match.
Like that shit's not funky. Like I'm like I ain't rocking with none of that, bro.
I'm telling you, and I've said this to you off air. The moment when Christian does that shit, people gonna start calling him a carny. It's amusing and funny when he's doing that shit at the low levels, but if he actually does get that belt, everybody's gonna be done. People gonna look up and realize like, oh, he actually has been doing all the shit that we actually hate other people for doing all along. Just he's really good though, and he's really good at his job, but he's a carny, and they're gonna realize that we actually been conned all along. That's how good of a worker that Christian is.
Yeah.
We talked about this a little bit on air about like how you don't be taking pinfalls. He be beating matches where he don't take pinfalls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something's happening.
He better not win that belt.
Yeah.
It better be a whole foiling situation.
Like somebody better
It better lead to Copeland screws him. That's what it better lead to.
Yeah. Or somebody like you're like, oh, he slipped on banana peel and he fucking lost and he got embarrassed. That's
the only way. It's the only way to get out of it.
Yeah.
You cannot make Christian Cage your world champion in 2024. Can't.
Yeah. I just would not do that.
Nope.
I simply would use someone else.
Nope.
Like just saying, nothing wrong with Christian. Whatever. He's done great job. I was particularly
but he's done a great job for the position he's in. You're going way above his depth when you do this at this stage in the game.
Right.
This ain't 2010 or 2009.
Right.
Or sorry, 2011 is what I meant to say. Sorry. This is 2024. No.
So let me pull up the Grand Slam card real quick. Some quick thoughts. And so AEW Grand Slam, Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley, number one contenders match. I think I'm taking Jon Moxley.
Yep, taking Moxley too. I think the match is gonna be great though.
Yeah, Bryan Danielson versus Nigel McGuinness. Have you seen people like kind of floating like maybe Danielson loses this if he's not cleared? He tries to fight something. It's not a title match. Why even waste time? He should just.
So he loses. So then a person that only has wrestled twice gets an actual title shot. Then he beats him. So it's 1-1.
They should not do that. Bryan Danielson just
do not do that. Beat him and move on.
Yeah. AEW World Tag Team Championship. Matt and Nick Jackson versus Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. I gotta say, man.
I would mind a title change here.
I got a feeling that the Bucks are going to show up and be like, all right, man, we done heard the noise. We done heard what you're saying.
I mean, I kind of thought that was what this trios match was.
Yeah, and like it seems like they've been ramping up. So I think this is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
As far as a title change, you putting 2 belts on Will, you could do that. You could move this over to them and do something different with the Bucks. I'm fine with either one or whatever. I don't know how close Mark Davis is to coming back. They did let Fletcher do like kind of like an ode to the finish. They did Coriolis. Yeah. So I don't know. This is up in the air. This should be great though. I'm going to take the Bucks, but
I think they do a title change here. It kind of then puts Ospreay back into the clutches of, the shit with Callis. And like at this point, it turns into like, not only am I out, can I find a way to get Fletcher out?
That'd be a sign to it. That'd be a sign to Death Row. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's honestly more interesting than what anything Young Bucks can do. Like, because if they win, like, what do? They face the Outgunners.
Yeah. Like you're kind of convincing me on the title change here as far as what would be interesting.
Because it's like he'll be a champion, then like you could find a way to like get the belt off, get the not All Atlantic
International
the international belt off of him with Ricochet. You could do that, and he's still champion. He has best bouts or whatever. Still,
yeah. And you probably save him a little bit, like
right.
His body and all that, but
or you could have him do double duty, whichever one, because he's psycho and likes to wrestle all the damn time anyway. So he can do tag matches, and then he can be in the Continental Classic,
right? And then he can lose to Kesha and get that win back, in like the block final or some shit. AEW World Women's Championship: Mariah May versus Yuka Sakazaki. I didn't know this was officially booked, but sure,
fun match.
Switch the belt. I don't care. Like
switch the belt. Do you know how? Look, man.
Do you know the amount of racism that would get unleashed on Yuka Sakazaki? Oh my god,
it would be fucking hilarious. It's like, bro, do you understand how much better of a wrestler Yuka Sakazaki is than Mariah May? Like, we like Mariah May, but he was like, nah, man, no, Yuka's great. So, nah, man, I don't know how much time this gets, but like I expect this to be like Yuka's best showing in the US.
Mariah May is holding this belt until they go to Australia, where Tony Storm's going to win it back.
Australia, and also they got to do the Mina thing too. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Mariah's
but I think this is the thing where like you
match.
get the Yuka, gets really close, maybe gets the crowd to believe that she can win, and then ultimately loses, and then like it's how you build off of build on Yuka being in AEW from there.
Continental Eliminator match. I don't know if you saw this one, James, but Kazuchika Okada versus Sammy Guevara.
Yeah.
I love it.
Same.
Big opportunity for Sammy Guevara here. Earnestly kind of built himself up with Dustin. They had a great match on Collision and Bunkhouse Brawl, and he was going nuts.
I saw him next to Dustin in the Bunkhouse fit. I was dying laughing. So he's like, because he's next to Dustin. Dustin's like 6'5", 6'6", and it's like you look like a child. You look like you with your daddy on go to father to work day shit. Like, look at you.
Yeah.
She was funny.
But this is like a cross matchup for Okada. Like, as someone he's never wrestled before, it's like just they're from two different worlds colliding here.
And you know he likes wrestling juniors.
Look, and who are the best Okada opponents historically? Athletic motherfuckers. Like, I don't. So
either that or brutes. Yeah.
We got lumberjack strap match.
Heavy hitters. Sorry.
Hangman Page versus Jeff Jarrett. A match that I didn't want to love. Like I wanted more for the Hangman, but they've got me into this, and I think they're gonna tear this shit down. I think
I'm into it. I'm definitely into it. Get him for me, Adam. Get him for me. Do it for me. Remove him from the industry.
Like Trish said, we're gonna have to open James a Tumblr account.
That's sick. That is sick.
AEW Trios Open Challenge match: Pat Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta versus question marks. Yeah. We'll see what that is.
Well, that's going to be Private Party plus a third, right?
Maybe.
Okay.
Hook versus Roderick Strong. Man,
that's the one, Roderick.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know how you make. I don't know. I'm not doing the Hook thing again. I'm not. Doing
yeah. Lucha Bros and Mystico, brother. I don't think it will be Lucha Bros. I think Lucha Bros. Didn't they sign with WWE officially?
I don't think it's pen to paper yet, but
okay.
It looks that way. A Soraya's rules match. Only Soraya is allowed to use weapons, closed fists, rope breaks, and not to make use of the 10 count. The winner receives an autographed copy of Soraya's autobiography, Soraya versus Jamie Hayter. Tons of gimmicks. You would think this should be a Jamie Hayter squash, but they're going to have Harley Cameron out there. So I imagine it's going to just be cat and mouse until she eliminates Harley, and then Soraya got to field his lariat.
Yeah. It's going to be a bunch of that. bunch of run around. Ultimately, Jamie should win. Yeah.
Then a tornado trios match.
Now, remember there was some talk about DMD is on the way back. So is this where DMD comes in, evens the odds for Jamie?
Nah, she's not back until the 5-year anniversary.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah. Tornado trios match: Jericho, Big Bill, and Brian Keith against OC, Mark Briscoe, and Kyle O'Reilly. It should be a blast.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. So overall, Grand Slam looks like a really nice card.
Could this be a de facto trios #1 contendership match?
De facto, maybe, yeah. But they don't tend to book. It seems like, all right, whoever has the trios belts, it's some act
That's just on
where
Collision?
Yeah, it's some act where it's like, all right, they're not really the people that we want to see having like the trios title matches, and then there's another trios program where it's like the conglomeration and they're having like the killer match,
right,
or whatever, and it's like, all right, well, what the fuck, like,
right. So that's what I'm saying. So like, when are we going to? It's been
they
going
don't bring those together.
This is like the only trios team that actually has like traction, emotion going. Make them the fucking trios champions. I want Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, and Kyle O'Reilly with some belts and have a title match. Damn it!
Yeah.
I am seriously considering buying that Jigsaw shirt.
Yeah.
You seen it, right? Like the conglomeration.
Yeah.
You know, I'm seriously considering buying it.
So overall, it looks like a really good show.
Yeah.
You would think. I wish it was drawing a little bit better because you know it's a good card. So
well, I will say though about that like, you know, with. I think it's going to be a really good show because my timeline is people dooming and glooming, which is a great indicator historically that like we're about to get a great show.
What you mean? Like people were like shitting on the show, or
not shitting on it, but just being like down on AEW. And you know, normally when people are down on AEW is right before a big show, which means the show's about to kick ass, and we can be happy about it and say they saved the promotion again, and then you know in 2 weeks when it's another big show. It'll follow the same cycle.
And I assume
people don't know how to handle two promotions being hot or two promotions being really good at the same time.
I think we're gonna get
top level stuff.
I think we're gonna get that TV deal announcement
here.
At the 5-year anniversary show.
Oh, that'd be nice.
That's my prediction. I know all things Elite. They've been predicting it like for months and months. This is gonna be the week. No, just wait, guys. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, y'all. That's in the show. If you are watching from the stream, go to the podcast, go to the show notes to the Red Circle link and donate there. And be sure to listen to other shows on network. Besides 1H Radio, you have Keepin It Strong Style. I'm gonna say Rick and Clive. What's up, Rick and Clive? Y'all ain't got no show going right now. Wish he came back. It'd be fun. MSW Adventure, all things Elite, wrestling art with Chris Things, the Trish and Sarah Wrestling Podcast, and the Trish and Sarah Wrestling Podcast, or Trish and Sarah Wrestling Show.
Wrestling Podcast.
I was right the first time and I corrected myself. I fucked up. My bad. Sorry, Trish. Sorry, Sarah. And Tunnel Talk, you freaks. God damn it. Later, y'all.